Oh, man, this is my childhood right here. We're trying something different today. We're going back to one of the games that I still... Oh my god. Wow. Hold on. Let me get a game first. Okay, much better. Oh my god. That was terrible. But no, this game, I spent so much time of my childhood playing it. I think I was like 8 when I first got onto it. It was kind of crazy. And I was just kind of curious, like, what all has actually changed, or does like anybody even remember playing this game as a kid growing up? I remember seeing so many changes happen through this game when it first released, because I originally started playing it back when Outspark, I believe, ran it, and when Gamigo bought it, everybody initially was so negative about it. We were also, as a community, pretty sure that it changed the percentage rate on enchantments, which really caused everything a huge... It made it so much harder to enchant, and that was kind of like what felt like the beginning to the end for the game, because even then, like, all of the content updates really slowed for the longest time. And then randomly they released Crusader, which is this class right here, which is like half magic, half melee hybrid, which is kind of interesting. What surprised me the most was about a year ago, I downloaded the game again just for shits and giggles to see if anything actually changed. And I was very shocked to see that they were putting updates out for it again. Because for the longest time after Crusader's release, it was like on maintenance mode, you know? Like, it was only new cash shop items and sales in the cash shop. And oh, we released a new powerful item in the cash shop. It very much so became kind of like a pay-to-win grind, which was really, really sad to see. But yeah, we're here just to like give the game another test to see what all has changed really from like however many couple years ago I played to even like last year, because I haven't touched this. Oh, when was the last time I actually played? I think it was going on like year and a half, maybe 2 years since I've played it last. It's one of those games where I would always just get on again occasionally just to see what would happen, or like for that little bit of nostalgia that I might want. I don't remember much about this class or what I was building for, which is kind of unfortunate. I do remember it being kind of cool though. I do remember this town being kind of the central hub for the game, with all of the high level players. At one point in time, it was starting to die there for a hot minute. Like, it was definitely never this busy in the past, which means a couple of things. There are either more bots, or it has become a healthier game in recent times, which I'm kind of for. I personally missed this game growing up. I thought it was really, really interesting of a concept. There were really odd mechanics you could do too. Like, people would hot swap armor sets out mid-battle to like rebuff or whatnot if they needed it. It was really, really interesting because, like, I don't know if they intend... He's supposed to give me a buff. Did he give me one? Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, yeah, that would do it. It would always do some, like, real... It had some really bad jank there for a little bit. Like, even the player movement isn't the best in the world. I'll see if I can show you some of the other stuff. I'll swap characters over to my mate magician. God, there's some weird stuff happening on magician that you just kind of have to get to know to really take advantage of the class. Or like, even, I believe it was the level 65 healer set. I don't know if it's still in the game or not. That one was kind of cool, actually. I like that. It was like a level 65 armor set where when you equip it and use your health scrolls, it gives you like a bonus of something like 1,000 HP and SP. And then you would swap back and it would keep that bonus, but that was never written anywhere on the equipment or the scroll. So it was just a interaction that you kind of learned about through the grapevine, or on... I'm moving my hands and you guys aren't able to see any of them, unfortunately, here. Or you would like end up, consider Archer. You could tap the S button near the end of the cast bar, and it would skip the flight animation time, which actually adjusted DPS times, and it would auto teleport to the boss like a hit scan weapon. And it's those really weird jank things where they're either implemented extremely poor or completely accidental that make the game such an interesting game to play. I remember I tried so hard to make it in this game money-wise, and I just could not figure it out to save my life. I'm not sure why I was never able to really turn a profit, or if I never put my all into it, but it was a struggle to make pots. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just reading stuff now, not even thinking. It was a struggle to make any sort of money for me. Although I've always dreamed of like having like a full stack of gems. Maybe I do that as a channel series for this game, you know, like 0 to hero, you know, 0 copper to 999 gem. That might be a really interesting concept for a video series. Actually, I might try to do that. That'd be really interesting, I think. I'm going to show you some of the jank real quick. All right, here we are. I'm apparently in an academy still. I don't know how that happened, but here we are. Hold on. I actually have money on this account. Nice. 999 gold. And apparently I spent the money on some bag space. So, and a permanent mount. Got it. Very cool. I set myself up for failure. Not failure, success. So let's go take a quick look at some of the easier enemies over here to show you some of the jank that this class has. I know at one point in time, this magic blast spell is supposed to be instant cast without a cast time. I don't quite remember which level that is, but right now it makes for some really, really weird interactions. You'll also see on a couple of these spells like Lightning Bolt, immediate cast, and Lightning Blast both have immediate casts, but they don't. You do have to worry about the animation cast on it though. Yeah, I'm stuck in animation. I'm spamming the air. Oh, okay. Now I can move that far after the cast. Oh, no, which is the button? There we go. So you'll also see the Lightning Blast and the Lightning Bolt do not share a cooldown here. However, that is different for the Ice Bolt and the Ice Blast. I'll show you what I mean. So if I use Ice Blast here, there we go. It puts Ice Bolt on cooldown. There's also like a really weird bug there. Ooh. Sorry. The shiny armor. Okay. It's not written on any of these that it shares a cooldown, I don't believe. Yeah, they don't share cooldowns. Let's check for the Fireball and Firebolt though. Let's find out. Oop, that's Ice Blast. No, so those don't share a cooldown. You have two spells that don't share any cooldowns, and then you have one spell that does, and it's not written anywhere. Another odd thing about this game as well is you will see people's hotbars with like 4 of the same types of skills. Because you can go back to previous editions, and I remember when I was leveling up this character, I only used the level 1 magic missile, and that's because it had a cool time of 1.8 seconds, while the current higher updated versions had a cool time of 4 seconds, and that drastically increased the amount of damage you would actually put out, because you could just spam the lower level ones and kill stuff faster, especially when you're stuck with 17-second cooldowns, 15-second cooldowns, because you didn't really get another spammable skill until you got to Magic Blast at level 49. So wizards struggled for the longest time just trying to get to a higher level to begin with. I remember one of the hardest tasks, maybe not tasks is the right word, maybe one of the hardest decisions was trying to figure out like what job you try to main. And it's because in this game, once you get to a higher level, that decision gets harder and harder to reverse because it is a fucking grind to try to level. I remember, at least for me growing up, the hardest level I think was 74 for me, because you had to go through and do like a kill quest where you have to go get a certain amount of drops and whatnot, and I just couldn't kill them all the way because I didn't put the time and effort into getting good enough gear and weapons to be able to kill them effectively without dying, and then you lose EXP every time you die. So you had to like make the solid decision and kind of commit to the job for a little bit. And you know, it's just like, oh, well, that job is cool and flashy, and then you would swap classes to that, and by the time you start leveling that, you go, oh, I mean, that job is also cool and flashy, so I could do that. And it was just like a vicious cycle time and time again. But I mean, like right now, I think I've kind of, oh, I can't say that. All the classes in this game were like, they fit the fantasy for me of every job like perfectly. And that's the big issue, because all of them, like, they lock in exactly where I want them to in my mind. So I'm like running around like with like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to decide what I want to do. I do know that wizards always have like a special place in my heart or whatever, because I think they're so cool. And I was never able to really play it as a kid because like I was too dumb. And since they are so, what's the word? Fragile, that I never really was able to properly level one or gear one, or even really get it to like even 60, because it was like one hell of a grind to get here, because like I said, you're using the level 1 ability 99% of your leveling journey, and that makes it difficult, as I'm sure you could imagine. I think I'm gonna end the video here. It's just, I wanted to revisit this game just because it's such an interesting like time capsule for me. It's purely nostalgic, and no matter what happens, this game cannot be bad for me, as much as I wish it could be. I wish I was able to close this chapter and be done, but I can't. All right, well, I'm gonna call it here. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Until next time, peace.